When we hear the word shift, we often think about things that are big, dramatic, a turning point, a before and after moment. But most shifts, and the ones that are often the most important, happen quietly. They happen when we learn to listen, not to the noise around us, but when we learn to listen to ourselves. I've spent most of my career with people, as an educator. I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I'm a yoga instructor, and personally, I'm a mom. And what I know to be true from working with people, and especially with kids, is that you guys are all capable. You are driven, and you are already learning how to work hard. And those skills matter. They matter more than we even realize. But the skill that we forget about, the one that's not as easy to teach, the one that we don't talk about nearly enough, is the skill of noticing what's happening inside us as we grow. So how you feel as you're learning something new, what that says about you, and how you take that in and what you do with it. I've spent most of my career, like I said, as a teacher and a coach, and I've also been busy. I've been productive. I always did what I thought I was supposed to do. I was on the right path. And from the outside, that looked pretty great. From the inside, sometimes it didn't always feel so great. So what I learned, very slowly, and I hope you learned much quicker than I did, is that growth isn't always about adding more. Sometimes it's about just listening to yourself and doing less. Doing less, personally, didn't steer me away from my ambition. It brought me toward alignment. It brought me towards what gave me energy, what made me curious. I noticed the places that I felt the most like myself, and that was a skill that was invaluable. So listening didn't make me any less motivated. In fact, it made me clearer, more fulfilled, and more focused. And that is the shift I want to offer you today. That shift towards self-trust, learning to listen to yourself, what's going on inside of you, and paying attention to it. One of the most powerful skills you can learn at any age is learning to check in with yourself. You learn to notice what your energy is and realize does this energize me? What am I learning about myself? And what makes this meaningful? And is it meaningful or impressive? When you learn to listen to yourself, those internal signals, that's when you learn to self-trust and you build a relationship with yourself that goes far beyond anything else. The things that I have noticed in my classroom, in my yoga studio, are the students that thrive long-term are not the students that never struggle. They're the ones that continually show up. They show up over and over and over again, and they also know how to adapt. They realize that growth isn't linear, that changing your mind is not failure, that evolving your interests equals self-awareness. You are allowed to grow in new directions. You are allowed to revise your goals. You are allowed to redefine success over and over and over again, as many times as you need to. In a world that asks us to always do more, push harder, and keep going, the most important skill you can learn is to respond with intention. You have to learn how to notice what gives you energy. Notice what brings you joy, what brings you fire, what brings you passion. Trust yourself. Because the goal isn't just to succeed. The goal is to stay true and connected to your values, your curiosity, and your integrity while you succeed. The world needs your creativity. We need your unique perspective. We need your ability to grow and to adapt. And that begins with one simple shift. The shift to choose to listen to yourself as you move forward. So my invitation to you is in the next 24 hours, before you say yes, before you commit to yourself to something, before you push harder, stop and listen. Listen without fear. Listen without pressure. Listen without judgment. Listen to the quiet clarity underneath. Because in that moment of quiet clarity, that is where your direction lies. Start there.